I'll keep looking at myself.
Going. Hello, everybody. We are live again with, I think that was a little early. Hello, everyone. We are live with our weight loss surgery Q&A. We've got some new equipment today, so hopefully everyone can hear us, and we're hoping that we're going to give you a little bit better video quality and audio. So Jacinta's going to start us off today. What are you going to talk about, Jacinta? What do you think's a key topic?
Today we're going to talk about why you can't just solely rely on weight loss surgery. So after weight loss surgery, the size of your stomach and the portion size which you can consume is restricted. However, there are human factors, as we know, so you're still making the choice on what you put in here and how much you exercise. Therefore, yes, you can rely on weight loss surgery initially because you will be eating smaller portion sizes and losing the weight. However, in the long run, you need to change your lifestyle habits once you get to that, or before you get to that plateau, so that when you get there, you can maintain a healthy weight and a healthy lifestyle. So what that means is choosing proper nutritional foods, as Charlotte, our dietitian here, can run you through in your appointment. Yes. And also about exercising, getting into a healthy mindset as well, and little things like our eating behaviours and habits. So when we sit down to eat, are we watching the TV and getting distracted? Are there emotional cues for the reasons why we're eating as well? So we need to sometimes stop and think about our emotions and how they're making us feel. An emotion is like a little bit like a wave. So it comes, you feel that peak, and then it kind of drops and flows away. So when you're feeling that emotion and perhaps more likely to eat something that's a poor eating choice, it's good to know that you can ride the wave, and then the wave, it will go away, and to do your best to get through it and not give in to those feelings.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think so much about weight loss surgery and just weight loss in general is a really big head game. So we always call the first 6 months after weight loss surgery your honeymoon period. And there's a really good reason for that. You're losing a lot of weight in that first 6 months. And you can imagine that the psychological reinforcement of that is, it's much easier to keep doing all these healthy behaviours because I'm seeing results. But we almost need to prepare for the time when you are going to hit a plateau, because you're not going to lose weight forever. And are you still going to have just the inherent motivation and drive to keep eating well when that happens?
Definitely.
Because that's an inevitable outcome. Yeah, you're right. So, and also, I guess making sure that when you are feeling down that you're not turning to food. And if that's something that you have a predisposition for, it needs to be addressed with somebody at some point. Because again, in that 6 month honeymoon, you might find that you manage it well, but definitely at some point, if you don't have a way of managing stress other than food, eventually you're going to turn to it. We all have bad days.
We do. And know that it's okay. If you do have a bad day, that's okay. It's a really good opportunity then to reflect what went wrong and how can I make a better decision next time, which brings me to exercise. And I think exercise is a great way to deal with those emotions and that stress that you go through. And Jen, our exercise physiologist, speaks often about we're all exercise people. And I think she's very right when she says that we just have to think about what type of exercise works for us as an individual. So there's a bit of a wave you go through in the exercise as well. So it's about preparing. What was the next?
So basically, like there's often a bit of a readiness to change when you're trying to start a new behaviour and make a big decision. So perhaps it's something like exercise. So that pre-contemplation phase is often when we're not even thinking about it, and that's probably not a time when we're going to start changing our behaviour. Then contemplation is when we're thinking, maybe something's got to change here, but I'm not quite ready yet. And then finally we hit this readiness to change or action, and that's when we often engage in it, and we often go through a process of perhaps falling off the wagon again.
And then re-engaging, and actioning and re-engaging. And it can take a little while. You'll try something, that's not for me, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you fall completely off. You just pick yourself back up and you try again.
Yes, so we want to get to that maintenance
stage. Eating each other's words. And at that maintenance stage, it's where you start to feel a bit weird if you haven't exercised. It's a good feeling when you're like, I want to exercise today. I haven't exercised. It's motivating, and it's a good distraction from other things that you might be going through as well.
Yeah.
With me time.
And if you are in that maintenance phase where it feels strange not to be exercising, that's probably a good sign you've found the exercise for you. I think I went through a big process of finding what I like. I definitely was slogging away at RPM cycling classes and hating every minute of it, being like, it's so hardcore, it's going to be so effective. But I couldn't sustain it because I just hated it.
Yes. And speaking about that, there are some exercises that you will love while doing them, and there's others that you might hate while doing it but love afterwards. And I think you need to find that balance of loving it afterwards and loving it while during, or finding something that gives you both so that you can continue to do it and enjoy it.
Yeah. And some days you love it and some days you hate it. Great. So that's a really an interesting point and something that an exercise physiologist can help you with. So they're kind of like a doctor who prescribes you exercise. So they can help find the type of exercise that's best for you, talk to you about what you want to achieve, and find that thing that you're going to maintain long term. So what I wanted to talk about is what I like to call the myth of willpower. So I think the dieting industry sells us this idea that if you can't refrain from eating certain foods, it's because you don't have enough willpower, so it's your fault. And as we learned recently in our staff environment, as soon as we had biscuits in the kitchen, the biscuits didn't last very long. And when we talked about whether we wanted to get the biscuits again, everyone's kind of guiltily admitted, I ate one this morning as soon as I came in and I didn't really want it.
And that's all I've been thinking about all day.
I know.
Those biscuits,
exactly.
Even though I don't like them that much, even though I don't want them.
Yeah.
That's all I can think about.
As soon as I saw them, I knew that I was a goner. So I think the important factor there is just to think about removing those things from your environment that you just know you don't have good control around. And they don't even necessarily have to be really unhealthy foods. It can just be that thing that goes a little bit too quickly from your cupboard or the fridge. Like I noticed myself getting into a bit of an addictive habit of Chobani flip yogurts. Too delicious for me.
Yeah.
And so I thought that, maybe you can buy one a week, but I couldn't keep buying them regularly because I just knew they weren't going to last in my house. So just that ongoing checking in with yourself to think, okay, well, what am I adding to my list of proving to myself that I can't control myself around?
Yes. And I think that's really good, that honesty, to be able to say that to yourself.
Oh, yeah. Do it all the time. Got a good understanding of my Achilles heels.
Working on mine still. That's another story.
Okay, so what else? Did you have anything else that has come up this week that you wanted to go over? You want me to jump in? Okay. I guess another one that I have been reflecting on a lot is people's weight expectations, or kind of like this idea that you want to get back to the body that you had at a certain time. And I think, again, that's another really heavily promoted thing in the media. Like, look how so-and-so got her body back.
You can never go back to that, though, because we are aging. It's a natural part of the human process. So be kind to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It is a metabolic reality that we start to have a slower metabolism as we age. And it's just because we often start to just lose muscle mass and we tend to just store fat mass. And once you actually hit age 70 the BMI range shifts upwards because it becomes healthier to have a little bit of extra weight on your body, so that if you get sick and you end up in hospital with pneumonia, you've actually got something on reserve.
Yes.
So the thing to remember is, if you think, okay, I'm sort of reaching my 50s or my 60s, what's my goal weight? I want to be that weight of 55 kilos when I got married. That's probably quite a hard thing to achieve and pretty hard on your poor body. So trying to figure out what is realistic for you. Otherwise, it just sets yourself up for a bit of failure and that idea that you just you can't achieve it and that it's an inherent problem with you. Which is not, no. And if you are trying to fight the aging process as much as possible, the best thing you can do is some resistance training to get that muscle mass on your body, because that does keep that metabolism ticking over. Yeah.
And don't compare yourself to other people. I think that's really important. Set your own goals for yourself and focusing on a better you. So that's holistically, and that's what helps you not use weight loss surgery by itself. You need to set realistic goals about not only just your weight, but more importantly, your lifestyle, your headspace, your exercise.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's even changing how your family eats as well. That's really important, and educating those around you about healthier decisions as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we might wrap it up there today. We don't want to harp on for too long. So thank you everyone who's watched us. We'll try to give you a little bit more warning next time and hopefully have a few less technical errors.
Yes, lots of incidental exercise getting this set up today.
Yes. All right. I've got to go turn this off over here, which is a bit awkward.